Gen Z is often labeled as the struggling generation. But is that true, or does the world keep changing right before our eyes? It's about to be 2025, and it feels like it's only been a short period of time since I graduated high school back in 2017, until I realized that my 10-year class reunion is coming up in just 2 years. What have I been doing this whole time? I always imagined I would somehow become wealthy by the time I was 25 years old. I'm now close to turning 26, and I haven't made those millions, nor have I even made those thousands either. I hopped around different hourly jobs, and at one point I thought I was gonna make it as a recording artist, and another I thought I was gonna make it as a full-time YouTuber. I've been saying that for over 5 years now, and it feels like I'm still here on square one. I'm broke, I just got laid off from my job, and I have a baby on the way. I'm still living at home with my parents. I don't own any assets, I don't own any Bitcoin, I don't have a backup plan. I have no idea what I'm gonna do, and I can't help but feel like I'm lacking far behind in life. I should have my own apartment by now. I should be able to buy my parents a house. I should be able to support myself financially, and I should be able to take care of those around me. My parents shouldn't have to keep working to support themselves, and I should be able to provide a bright future for my child. I should. At least that's what I'm always telling myself. It's basic human instinct to want the comfort of being well off, especially when we see people on social media living lavish lifestyles, sometimes even people who are younger than us, and they all just look so carefree and happy. Being happy reminds me of my childhood. It had its challenges, but for the most part, I remember being perfectly content living in a trailer park with 4 other siblings and going outside to play with sticks and rocks or catching bugs outside and making them fight each other. And then after all that, going inside and sitting down and eating dinner with my family. I was pretty happy back then. I had no money in the bank, $0. I didn't even have a phone back then. No bank account, no credit history, no car. I was at peace with what I had, until I found myself being jealous of the next door neighbor. The next door neighbor had a son, and he had all the coolest toys, and his fridge was always stocked with all the best snacks. I started to feel bad, and I started to think, man, is my family poor? And I would become a little bit envious as well, when really we had everything we need as a family. My mom and dad would work long hours, and somehow we always managed, but we were always living paycheck to paycheck. The main issue here is that we will never truly be content until we stop comparing ourselves to others. There will always be someone who looks richer and happier than you, but even that is subjective. Just because someone has a fancy car or a shiny Instagram profile doesn't mean that their life is actually better than yours. And it doesn't mean that you're lacking anything either. Their whole life could be a facade, and they could even potentially be jealous of what you have, like loving family, friends, or whatever it is, being able to walk, talk, having good health, and having the ability to watch YouTube videos just like this one, the ability to hit that subscribe button if it brings you value, and the ability to leave a comment on this video if you have anything you would like to say to me. But this just leads us to another question. How do we actually make progress in a world where comparisons are unavoidable? It seems like we're always going to be comparing ourselves to others. That is the beauty of being content. You don't have to act out of emotion like jealousy or envy. You make cool-headed decisions that will help you improve your quality of life. You stop wasting precious resources and your energy trying to impress others. Resources like money, time. You might think that you can afford it, but you have to ask yourself this: can you afford not to reach that next level that you've been dreaming about? What if the cost to reach that next level is everything that you have right now? All of your time and resources need to be focused on this one thing in order to break through that wall and finally start gaining momentum. You can't do this if you're using some of your time and energy on other things, like trying to impress others, or maybe some side quests, side hustles that you thought were gonna get you rich quick, but really you just need to come back and focus on the main thing and start building momentum with that. Because once you start gaining momentum, you start to gain leverage, and then all of a sudden doors will start opening up for you and opportunities will land in your inbox. The important thing to remember is that there is a heavy upfront cost in order to break through that wall and start building that momentum. This is what you have to do in order to leave square one, and this is why so many people are stuck in square one in life. They have their energy and their time and resources spread out amongst various other things when they just need to focus on the one thing in order to finally finally start making it happen. That's when the snowball finally starts to build. Whenever you're just starting out in a video game like Skyrim, for example, you have a small health bar and low stats. If you've ever played the game before, you're going to walk into your first dungeon at level 3 or 4, and it's going to take you a long time to figure out how to conquer it and defeat all the enemies. Once you level up and gain better resources, you're able to clear out those dungeons faster and face off against stronger enemies that can lead to greater rewards. Your earning capability skyrockets, and you know that it took you time, energy, and resources to get there because you focused on leveling up your character. That way you're able to go and get those bigger rewards. The interesting thing about this is that the more you play, the faster you level up and the more you get used to the game's mechanics, to the point where you start using them to your advantage. So if you've already played the game before and you started a new game on level 1, you'll have a much easier time conquering dungeons even with low stats and armor because you know how the game works. This same concept applies to business owners and content creators. Once a person figures out how to blow up a YouTube channel and maintain it, they'll have a much easier time starting a new one and doing it all over again versus someone who has yet to even reach 1,000 subscribers and they've been doing it for 7 years. If it's been 7 years and you're still stuck at the same level, it's time to reassess and change your approach. And I'm literally talking to me right now. This is actually my story. That's why I feel comfortable saying this. Something has to change here. And that something is me focusing on this one thing instead of going off and doing all kinds of other stuff that doesn't even matter. So much of the knowledge and the information that we lack is written in plain black ink and easily affordable to the average American. Books can be found at Walmart, libraries, and you can even order them off of Amazon. That's literally what I've been doing. I recently ordered a few different books about finances and money just because I needed to learn a little bit more. There's knowledge that I lack, and I'm not saying you read one book and you're going to become a millionaire. That's not how it works. But I am saying that there's a lot of knowledge out there that I don't know I don't have. Does that make sense? I don't know what questions to ask yet. I'm choosing to educate myself because we have the ability to. Anybody can get on Amazon and order a book. This book was like $10, but some of the knowledge in here is worth thousands, maybe even millions down the line. It just depends on how you apply it. I realized that I never really sat down to study finances and learn how money works. I just made the usual assumptions like work hard to save up and buy a house, work hard to save up and buy a car, and then save up for your retirement. Those plans sound good, but for some reason, it just isn't that simple anymore. The school system failed us dramatically when it comes to teaching us about finances. They didn't really teach us how to become business owners, entrepreneurs, or becoming your own boss. They really taught us how to become employees. They taught us how to be drones who listen, sit down, and raise their hand whenever they need something, instead of someone who gets up and takes control and takes action, even without anybody else's permission. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. That's the beauty of having free will. You don't need anyone's permission to go and do it. Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, all the successful business owners, they didn't ask anybody's permission to start their company. They just went and did it. And that's what we're doing here today. If you want to become your own boss, you have to pull yourself up out of the mud and make it there. Nobody is going to hand it to you on a silver platter. You have to get up and make the world give it to you. You need to put in so much work. You need to become so valuable that the world feels like it owes it to you. It has to give it to you. It's only right that it goes to you. Become so valuable that the world would be wrong if it didn't reward you. Provide the world with value. Find a solution to a problem. Find a way to run a business better. And then money and success will find its way to you. You can't chase the money because if you chase money, it's always going to slip through your fingers. You have to chase the vision. You have to chase a purpose that's bigger than you. And you have to look at money as a tool in order to achieve that purpose. That's whenever you will unlock success and financial freedom. At least that's what I think. I'm really not sure, to be honest. I'm not a financial expert. I don't have millions of dollars, not even thousands for that matter. I truly just am some guy on YouTube in his bedroom. But as someone who's from Gen Z, I've reached a point in my life that if I don't put it into high gear right now, I'm going to end up in my mid-30s wondering what I've been doing with my life this whole time. I don't want that, and I don't think you do either. And even if you are in your mid-30s, you still have a chance to make it right for yourself later on in life. Because as long as you have breath in your lungs and you're sitting here watching this video, you have the opportunity to make the change. But you have to start right now, and you have to stop putting it off to the side. Stop focusing on all these other side quests, side missions, things that you know are distractions that you know are not helping you get where you really want to be. Focus back on that dream dream that you knew was your calling. Focus on that. Put all your energy and resources into that. Let go of all the distractions. There is no guarantee of everybody becoming successful in this life, but there is a 100% chance of you getting better every single day as long as you get up to put the effort in. You just have to be open-minded. You have to be aware of your unfair advantages, and you have to be able to make mistakes, because mistakes are what you learn from. My name is Daniel. Remember to always keep your eyes open. Have a blessed day.